Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do a St. Patrick's Day look. Now, my biggest thing with this look is that I didn't want it to be super like green because that's not something I would do when I'm going out. I know it's kind of like the holiday where everybody goes a little crazy, but for me, I wanted to really like do something a little more olivey green, that it's definitely still green. Like you are celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but this is also something that you can throw on any other day of the year if you want something that's just a little olivey and a little smoky and a little gorgeous. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. Please don't forget, I do upload twice a week. So the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting is to subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So first I'm going to tap into Canvas, which is this first neutral transition shade. This is just going to set down where I'm going to want my crease to be before I start defining it with a little bit more deep and warm colors. Next, tapping into Define Me, which is a little bit more of a warm-toned transition shade. This is just going to help me set down exactly where I want the crease to be before I start laying in a true warm color. This shade is transitional. It's the deepest of the transition shades. This one has a little bit of a cool undertone, which for me, I thought was really good with a green olive lid. And as you see, going in on a fluffier brush than I initially used, I'm going to be laying that down on the outer V of the eye. And this is going to help me to start to get that smoky cat eye shape. Then going into Vivid, which is a very warm tone shade, I'm just going to lay that in the entire crease. When I go in with a cool toned lid, especially when I'm using greens and blues, I really like to have a blown out warm crease. Now on a pointy brush from Sigma, I'm going to put Pine, which is a deep olive, in the entire crease area. This is just going to help me to set down a little bit more clearly where I want all of the lid space to go. I like to take this crease shade in because it helps later on so things don't get very messy. And then just on a clean brush with a little bit of the transition shade, I'm just going to blend that out. Then I'm going to use that same shade Pine, and I'm just going to use a dense packer brush, and I'm going to put that on the outer V of the eye and then blend it out up to the crease. Now this is again going to help me to get that really nice smoky cat eye shape. So by building it up slowly, it's never going to get muddy and it's never going to get really over the top, which we want it to be controlled. Then I'm going to go into this brown shade, and it is called Expression, and it's going to help lay down a barrier for the black. And the black, which is called Muse, is what's going to give us that true harsh edge. We will end up blending it out later with the green. But by laying down all of these different shades before we build it up, it's going to help everything just look clean. And then we're just taking Fickle, which is the lighter of the green shades, and we're putting that all over the lid. Now, initially, I was going to make this a matte look, but I will go in with some shimmer later. But the matte just kind of helps everything stay where it goes. And then I'm just going to blend both of those greens into the crease to help deepen up all of that crease work. And then finally, with a little bit more of that black, we're just going to redefine and re-intensify the crease. And once we have that built up to the desired level, we're going to add a little bit more warmth back over the crease because we did lose a lot of it. And then we're just going to blend it out with a clean blending brush. And this is going to have everything just look really seamless and really flawless. Then we just clean up any fallout. And quickly, I did do the face off camera just to kind of speed this up. This is the Hank and Henry Luster Lights My Alter Ego kit in El Jefe. So I'm taking that black shade, which is probably the most intense black shade I've ever used. Then I'm going to go into the waterline with Basket Case from Kat Von D and Billie Joe Armstrong. And then using that same black from Hank and Henry on a small smudger brush, I'm just going to set that down and start to smoke out the lower lash line. Now it's really important for it to be really smoky because we don't want it to be too top heavy of a look with all the dark colors we used. Then going into that green, I'm just going to go underneath the black to smoke it out and kind of mirror what we did on top. And then once we have that done, we're going to take the lighter green, and again, mirroring exactly what we did the first time, going from darkest to lightest this time. We're going to then lay down the orange shade and finish up the eye. Okay, so the face is finished. I did throw on lashes, and now that the face is on, I'm really liking the olive smoky eye, but I do want to add a little bit more of something else. So I'm going to tap into my Hank and Henry Alter Ego Trio. This is in, oh, what is it? This is El Jefe. So I'm going to take on a dense packing brush the Luster Light, which is a very pretty bronzy color, but it does have more of a cool undertone. So I think it'll go nicely with the green. And I am going to take it and spray it a little bit, and then just press it onto the inner portion of the lid. Then going into any blender brush, I'm just going to blend away any harshness and then re-intensify with a little bit of it dry. And the lights keep flickering because we are in the middle of a snowstorm, so I'm going to wrap this up. For lips today, this is the one piece where you can kind of go wearable or not. I was gonna do a green lip. This is Cash Money from the new Sephora collection. I'm gonna try it out, and if I hate it, I'll put on a gloss. Okay, so I started to put it on and I already don't like it. I wore this the other day. I do really like the shade. However, it's a little blue for the olivey tones. So instead, I'm going to quickly take the Slide On Glide On liner from NYX and line my lips. And I'm just going to buff that out with a shader brush. And once that's diffused properly, where'd it go? Once that's diffused, I'm gonna take a little bit of the Universal Gloss Bomb from Fenty, which has been a favorite of mine for like ever. So that's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to do something that was, again, a little more wearable, because if you want a green, bold, like vibrant look, I'll link a video down below that I did for Christmas, I think, where it was a very green, vibrant, like spring green smoky eye. Oh, it wasn't even really that smoky, but it was definitely green. I'll link that down below if that's what you're into, but today I wanted something a little more olivey, a little more neutral, and honestly, I am loving this. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.